Our average depth is 39 meters, not 45. How would you adjust the Deco?
Hello everyone, thank you once again for joining us right here on our YouTube channel, the Global Underwater Explorers. 10,000 follow in our YouTube channel. Thank you everyone, I will not miss an opportunity to say it. Thank you for watching our content, liking it, sharing it, and being a follower of the channel. It really, really is humbling. I am joined today, as always, for our monthly in-depth video with the rock star Michael Menduno. Michael, how are we doing?
We are doing good this morning.
Yep, making me look all pasty after your trips in Mexico. Yeah, he's all tanned, lucky man. By the way, if you're not following Michael Menduno on Instagram, guys, you should definitely be doing that at M2 Base, because he's put up a load of really cool photos from Mexico recently. So go give him a follow, as well as a follow for the channel. Just before we get into the in-depth stuff, guys, really quickly, we did do the 10,000 follower live stream video with that Jared Jablonski and Dorota Czarne recently. The link for that is above. If you saw it, great. If you were one of the people who submitted a question, great. I did promise everyone that we were going to pick 10 people at random to be in with a chance of winning some swag. I have made an announcement of who the winners are. That is on the GUE community tab right now. So if you are, go have a look to see if you're one of the people. And if you are, the details on how to claim the prize are all on there. Shameless plugs out the way. Michael, in-depth time. What have you got for me?
So, a couple questions. So, how much Deco would you need to do if you did, say, a 30-minute dive to 45 meters, and let's say we're breathing a Trimix 2135, 21% oxygen, 35 helium. How much Deco would you need to do? And what if at the end of that 30-minute dive you went, our average depth is 39 meters, not 45. How would you adjust the Deco?
Well, as someone who has never dived on Trimix, this is a really unfair question. So I'm not even going to make an attempt at guessing this month. You tell me.
There's a reason behind my question. So we will, why don't we get back to that at the end of the video? We'll come back and I will explain why I asked those questions.
He's got the showmanship. I love it. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you do that plan. All right, while we've kept people in suspension, Michael, what are the main stories beside Ratio Deco that you've got for me this month?
Yeah, we have some good stuff this month. Riley Fogarty, our science writer, looks at high pressure problems on uber deep dives. So we're talking about high pressure neurological syndrome or high pressure nervous syndrome. These are for dives beyond about 150 meters. Right. Quite interesting. It was discovered by Peter Bennett and others with commercial divers doing these deep saturation dives. And now the tech community is running into this. So Riley looks at a little of the history and the theory. The idea is that rapid compression in a helium breathing atmosphere is just causes problems. And then the absolute pressure. You'll have to remember that saturation divers reach these deep depths, 150, 200 meters, etc., over a number of days, where techies are rocketing down because we have limited, if you go too slow, well, if you're on closed circuit, you have gas, but if you go too slow, your decompression is going to go through the roof. If you're on open circuit and you go too slow, you're going to run out of gas. So, and this is quite interesting. Riley is not only a theory piece, but he talks to Nuno Gomes, who's a world record holder, a deep cave explorer, and also Richard Harris, Dr. Harry with the Wet Mules. They are doing these dives right now at Pierce Resurgence to 240-meter dives, him and Craig Challam. And so they're experiencing some of these problems. And it's a syndrome that was thought to have contributed to Czech Exley's death back in the 1990s. So it's a really interesting piece. Yeah.
So we're literally throwing all the famous names here in this piece, because we've got world record Nuno Gomez, we've got tech diving, we've got legend Peter Bennett, one of the diving icons, who I did mention, I believe, in my top 10 diving pioneers video a while. The link for that again will be above.
That's right.
About Exley, who is also on that list. All the names in this article. Love it. Big industry name.
So then we go to the to your country for a story called Dem Wookey Bones. And this is with our friend Michael Thomas, who's part of the leadership team of the British Cave Diving Group. And we're talking about the bones found in Wookey. Recently there was floods in this last October, and afterward it revealed a whole set of new bones dating back from 800 to about 400 BCE, before the Common Era. And so in this piece, Michael talks a little about the history of finds from the very early days in 1935 when they first started diving Wookey. They found bones near this structure called the Witch of Wookey. And so the theory was that people had been sacrificed here. But Michael is sort of unique. His first training dive there in 1993, he discovered a skull. And then in 2019, he discovered a Roman pot. So they went back after this recent flood, him and his son, Rob Thomas. We did a piece about him in Young Divers International. And anyway, they found this whole series of bones. I mean, quite a lot. Anyway, so and they're now on display at the Wookey Museum. So this is a story about the finding of the bones. Pretty interesting. Yeah.
Rob Thomas, who was also one of our guest speakers on our Community Day live stream in September last year. Lovely man.
Yeah, he is indeed. So
yeah, that sounds like a cool piece. You got some exploration stuff for me this month?
We do. Bel Ha system, one of the largest cave systems in the world. It's kind of funny. We've been exploring Mexico for 4 decades now. You think, finds are getting, hard. It's hard to find anything new. Well, 3 divers, Amoka and Laszlo from Hungary, and Bjorn from Denmark. They've all moved to Mexico. And this last, from September to April, they laid 20 kilometers of brand new line, about 12 and a half miles of new line there, new discovered cave. It's a new entrance, Yax Chen, a new entrance, a new cenote to the Bel Ha system. And so they were doing these dives, averaging about 6-hour dives, average depth about 12 meters, and using some of the new electronic survey equipment, the Nemo, where you're running along the line and it kind of computes your survey data, and SUX scooters. They weren't swimming all these ways, they were scootering. But it's really remarkable. Again, it's a story of how they found this, using back mount and side mount. A lot of the passages started to get little. And GUE, probably a lot of people don't know GUE has a side mount program now. And so they took advantage of it to explore some new cave. Always fun.
Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to actually say that this one actually is, despite the fact that I'm not a seasoned cave diver by any stretch of the imagination, I've mentioned a few times on the channel that, I went to Mexico last December, and Imoka was our dive guide.
Look, awesome instructor.
And she was telling us about the impending explorations of Bel Ha Cave. And I'm just going to say to our YouTube followers, watch this space, because much like we've got Annika's New Zealand vlogs, again, the first one, link for that is above. And funnily enough, the next one is coming out next week, so stay tuned for that. Watch this space with Imoka and Laszlo and what they're doing. Because I've reached out to them and I've said, listen, this is amazing what you're doing, this discovering of the new cenote systems. This needs to be on our channel. Watch this space.
Cool.
I'll leave it there for now. Just stay tuned. Oh, and by the way, because Imoka is one of those people who I fanboyed out over hard when I met her, just because she's so good at what she does. Like, I don't know Laszlo in terms of a diver because I didn't dive with him. Imoka was unreal. So I'm just going to do a shameless plug for her right now. Imoka and Laszlo diving. There's a link for them in the description below. Please, if you're heading out to Mexico, look her up. She's unreal, this girl.
Great. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's a great story. So looking forward to more. We have a fun short story. I call it Diving Rocks. And it's our local GUE group out here. They did a traverse from a place called Shiprock to Bird Rock. It's about a 1,300 kilometer run, average depth of about 70 meters. And they just took a reckoning, and Kareem Hamza actually was the navigator. It was a mixed team of rebreathers and open circuit, and they did this cool rock and dive. So talk a little about that. And then I got some gear issues. We talk a little about Eugenio Mangelli, the founder of Temp Deox. It's a gas analyzer company, and talks a little about how to protect yourself from carbon monoxide poisoning. It's not so much an issue in the States, but if you're traveling to third world countries diving, it's possible to get carbon monoxide in your breathing gas, and it's really bad. So you don't want to do that. So
Bit, yeah.
Yeah, worth writing about. Yeah, and then I had a little fun. So I was in Mexico, and Mexico's hot and humid. Today, for long dives, we all, if you're wearing a dry suit, which I was, men use condom caps and P valves. It's the de rigueur standard way we dive. However, I discovered when you're in Mexico and you're just sweating your ass off, the condoms don't stay on. It's really a problem. They come off during your dive, and it's unpleasant. So I did a little digging, and I asked Kelvin, who I was diving with, Kelvin Davidson, the proprietor of Third Dimension Diving. He said there are two options, mate. You can buy a condom 2 sizes too small and just stuff your junk in it. And this is what Kel does. So he uses a large instead of, So that's option 1. Option 2, you can buy alcohol and wipes and wipe your willy in the morning. When you get up, put on the condom cap and you're good to go. So, but I decided to go old school and kind of rediscovered the joys of nappies. And I got to tell you, the new high-tech gel nappies work great. It was like no muss, no fuss. I didn't have to worry about my condom coming off. So anyway, it's a story called The Right Tool for the Right Job.
That escalated.
Hey, it's water sports. Anyone?
Wow.
Can we say that on this channel? I think we can.
Hey, look, Donald Trump's into it. Other people are too. Can I say that? Who knows?
Right. So, anyways, which brings us back to our Ratio Deco story. This is part 2 of the piece that Rich Walker started last month with no decompression dives. Mm-hmm. This looks at, we call it More Mysteries of Ratio Deco Revealed. So this looks at doing decompression dives to about 50 meters. In the GUE world, that would be Tech 1 diving, basically. And, the essence of Ratio Deco is that by working with planning tools, decompression planning tools like Deco Planner, you begin to see patterns. And so for these level of dives, to say 45 meters, a minute of deco, a minute of bottom time equals a minute of deco. So you can actually, and Rich talks about this, you can actually sort of calculate your deco on the fly. So for example, our 45-minute dive for 30 minutes, you'd expect to do about 30 minutes of deco. And looking at, again, how the algorithms work, those are distributed from your 21 meter to 9 meter stops, and then your long 6 shallow stop, your 6 meter stop. Right. So, but if you decide you did your dive 30 minutes and then you came up and you went, hey, our average depth is only 39 meters. Well, there's some quick rules of thumb to say, hey, we only need to do 20 minutes of deco, 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And here's how we're gonna do it. We'll do 2 minutes at a 2 minute, we call it twos and 10s. 2 minutes at 21, 18, 15, 12, and 9, and then 10 minutes at your 6 meter stop. So I found these tools, having just completed my Tech 1 class, really useful, kind of from an operational point of view. Again, they're based on the tables. But as you start doing these dives over and over, you get familiar with the tables and what you can do. So it's a really good piece by Rich Walker. Yeah.
I'm just going to put the question out just for the sake of covering territory. Obviously, this doesn't apply to people who are regular GUE divers, but this is obviously a social video. It may reach people in the scuba diving community who are not techies or scuba divers, who are not necessarily techies or GUE divers, and who may think, So this is obviously not something that you can do with a dive computer. If you tried to do this type of profile with your dive computer, no, it wouldn't do it without being programmed to do it. It wouldn't do it as not one of the natural algorithms. So just hopefully you can clear that up for the people who are not
Sure.
necessarily PUE or technical divers.
So the underlying decompression schedule is being computed by a Buhlmann algorithm. That's what we run, say, Deco Planner. There are other programs out there. But once you start looking at the shapes of the curves, what you can see is that within given ranges, there are some rules of thumb. So again, when diving at around 45, so what it means is you don't need a dive computer to dive. You can start with a table, a plan, and then modify that plan based on your actual dive. So again, diving to 45 minutes, it's pretty much a minute to minute, 1-to-1 ratio of bottom time to deco. Okay, and then you can divide that between your deeper or intermediate stops and your shallow stop. And so it's basically operational rules of thumb. Again, using just average depth and your time. You can like the first article last time. You can do all your no stop diving to 30 meters without really having a computer, just having a bottom timer basically and a depth gauge. So yeah, it's a useful operational tool.
If it sounds crazy, guys, it's not. It's just different. It's just different.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. That all sounds awesome, mate. When is this new issue of InDepth out, and where can people find it?
Right. So the issue will be out next Thursday, June 3rd. You can find it at indepth.blog or gue.com/blog. And it'll be out, and it should be a really good, interesting issue. We also have some incredible art. A filmmaker, a Chinese filmmaker named King Fen, that is going to just absolutely blow you away. So you'll want to see it. Yeah.
That sounds like my cup of tea. I can't wait to see that. Guys, from me, as always, please check the community tab to see if you are one of the winners from our live stream random pick. The only other plug I'm going to do is just remember that this coming weekend, so June 5th, is the global cleanup weekend. We're doing them all over the world. You can find it on the website where you can get involved, how you can get involved if you haven't already. We made a video announcing this. The link to that is above if you want to check it out. Announcing the global cleanup weekend. Please do have a look at that. It's all very well, sitting and preaching, saying, hey, let's make the world a better place. Here's an opportunity to do something. So find a community in your local area. Go do an underwater, go diving, go clean up, go do a beach cleanup. Get involved, guys. All right, that's this coming weekend, June the 5th. That's all from me. That's all from the channel. That's all from Michael. So please do all the usual stuff. Like the video, share the video, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we will see you next time. Michael, anything more to add?
Nope. See you in the water.
Very good. Love that. Guys, see you very soon. Michael, thank you as always for your time, and I will see you on the next video.
All right. See you then.